Welcome, folks. I'm Jaby Koay, joined by ACHARA the KIRK.
Hi there.
We're looking at Screen Junkie's Honest Trailers Godzilla vs. Kong.
Rawr.
So, we saw this film in theaters. It was the first film we saw in theaters in, I think, over a year.
A year, yeah.
So,
wow, that's glowing review, Jaby Koay.
I had a lot of feelings about the movie, both positive and negative. I liked the action quite a bit, and I didn't like the human beings for the most part. I liked the little girl was cool, and what's her name was pretty hot.
Oh yeah, Isa Gonzalez.
Yeah. Okay, so.
Your face.
All right. Anyway, here we go.
The following trailer is rated S for spoilers. I mean, you can probably tell from the title that Godzilla fights King Kong, but we tell you who wins, if that sort of thing matters to you.
John Bailey.
In a year where everyone realized we're at the mercy of nature, the world will sublimate that anxiety into watching a giant monkey fight a giant lizard in a perfectly timed release before we snap and punch and or kiss the mailman. I'm scared to see this in a theater. Not because of the virus, I've just completely forgotten how to interact with people. Godzilla vs. Kong. You've been moderately pleased by all the legendary kaiju movies so far. Now, tune in for another bad, sober, good with a buzz installment of the sloppiest franchise running, where character and timeline continuity is more of a suggestion, featuring characters they forgot to mention were related, characters they forgot to mention entirely, and characters who forgot they discovered the Earth was hollow in the last movie.
The vortex was a tunnel into the hollow Earth. Doesn't matter, I knew I was right.
But one thing remains constant. Absolutely no one watching gives a about any of it.
That's
now
true.
make with the monkey fights.
Yay!
Ah, that's the stuff. Meet the humans of the Monsterverse. Because I had to, so now you do too. They're just here to yell out what's going on, even though there's no way any of them could possibly know that information.
This is why Godzilla attacked the Apex facility. They're trying to replace him.
It's the axe. It's drawing radiation from the core like it's charging.
Hey, it could be a psionic interface.
It's just some lit up tubes, man. How would you know that? But don't worry, they all have a backstory. Whether it's their dead wife,
She was my rock, my truth.
dead brother,
What really went wrong on your brother's mission?
dead mom, or screw it, dead everyone.
When the storm took over the island, it wiped out the native people.
As they carry on the Monsterverse tradition of hiring great actors, then making them say stuff like this with a straight face.
Right now, Godzilla's out there and he's hurting people, and we don't know why.
Cringe as the only dramatic dialogue is way funnier than the intentional comedy of the film, as you follow along with the most obnoxious fictional character profession, the podcaster.
Yes, oh my god.
A vast corporate conspiracy.
Brian Tyree Henry rants and raves his way through the sharpest conspiracy theory jokes of 2007.
The Illuminati running shadow economies all to fund a hidden colony for the elite in water. They put fluoride in it.
And Millie Bobby Brown returns as his kaiju anon in training.
Theory is it makes you docile, easy to manipulate.
Plus, this boy is also there in this goofy subplot that can be completely cut without anyone noticing.
Exactly.
There's only one group of humans to follow in these movies, okay? Everyone else is there to either be squished and or cheer when Godzilla destroys their home. With a title like Godzilla vs. Kong, they better deliver on the fights as they pit the titular titans against each other no less than 3 times. I mean, sure, Godzilla wins 2 out of 3 because, I mean, come on, look at the guy. And yes, Kong spends more time on his back than Riley Reid.
Oh my god.
What?
Wow.
But the film will do everything in its power to make you root for the big hairy boy. He's friends with children, he loves snacks, and he's got Thor's axe. I mean, come on, the only endearing thing Godzilla does is destroy part of Florida. But no Versus movie would be complete without them joining forces at the end against a surprise third fighter.
What the hell is that?
What the hell is that?
What in God's name is that?
Mecha Godzilla.
That's Mechagodzilla.
A giant Jaeger created to fight Godzilla until he loses human control and fights Godzilla, causing the two beasts to team up against this man-made atrocity, and all 3 of them to team up against the city of Hong Kong.
That's true. Everybody run!
Man, it's basically Power Rangers.
No wonder this movie is huge in China.
Oh, jeez, that's dark.
My friend made a comment
Which for
about
most of us
that.
right now is our phone. Even though it's probably best suited for one of those theme park rides with moving seats. That may not be the most intelligent thing you could be watching. But you know what? Neither are we. And we spoke this movie into existence back in 2014. From the company who has the rights to Godzilla, King Kong, and Pacific Rim. So please, please, please do a crossover where they all fight each other and stuff. You're welcome. Starring.
It had to happen.
I get knocked down, but I get up again. Reptile wins. You're straight down already. You're perfect for each other. On today's show, we're gonna reveal the horrible truth. But first, I'd like to tell you about Squarespace.
Oh, gosh.
Billionaires shouldn't exist. Becca Lecca Hi, Becca Heidi Ho. The Chris Hemsworth of the Brothers Skarsgård. Let them fire. Preteen Titans. And... physics? Alike Titans Punch Out. Okay, not trying to kink shame, but why are all these monsters always trying to spit in each other's mouths? That's not a thing real animals do. They learn this from watching people.
That's gross.
I didn't think they were trying to spit in each other's mouths. They were trying to, I mean, obviously he's making a joke. But I remember from the Peter Jackson Godzilla, he was trying to rip the T-Rex's mouth open to basically kill it.
Sure.
You know, and ever since
Yeah.
then we've been seeing that move come back. And it's like, you're trying to murder it. That's what's happening.
Yeah, but also they have murderous mouth spit. Blah.
Or laser beams, or
Yeah,
fire,
that's what
dragon
it is.
fire.
Yep.
You know?
No, so regarding the Hong Kong thing, I was on Facebook the other day, and one of my friends posted, and he said, "So for all our Hong Kong friends out there, how did you feel about Kong and Godzilla just destroying Hong Kong?" And then one of our friends wrote back, and he's like, "Yeah, but interesting that the China Tower did not get destroyed." And I was like, oh shit, I didn't even know. But I just thought that was funny that they mentioned that, and then like the correlation between like it doing so well in China. But I'm sure that has nothing to do with it.
No one wrote to me when Independence Day came out asking how I felt about seeing the Chrysler building get destroyed or the White House getting blown up.
I know, but it's like, I guess you don't really think about it. I mean, it doesn't really, I guess it was like almost like a fantasy version of Hong Kong with all the neon lights and stuff. I thought it was really pretty, but
I mean,
yeah, it's just ridiculous.
That was what you were there to see. Is that fight go down? I thought that was cool. You know,
It was cool.
That was the draw of the movie, and everything else they could have set fire to. Honestly, like I didn't need the human characters, and he made a good point of talking about it. I mean, well, Screen Junkies did. Everyone's talking about the same thing because it's like the human characters are just not interesting in this film.
Yeah, but it's like they always hire really great actors. Like I like Alexander Skarsgård. I like Rachel Hall. I like a lot of these actors in other films when they're doing dramatic roles. But here I'm like, wow. But that's cool. You know, they get a paycheck.
Right.
And they get to practice their acting skills because you got to practice saying really ridiculous lines and like committing to them.
The very last joke of this was physics. In fairness to the movie, I thought it was interesting how sometimes, you know, when a monster was thrown into a building in Hong Kong, the building didn't just fall over. There's a certain structural integrity to the building that was maintained, like that kind of pushed back against the monster, whether it was Kong or Godzilla. It didn't just topple over. I think that a certain amount of physics was taken into consideration there, because I think it's more interesting and almost more painful that the building doesn't just fall over. Someone's talking to me about a fight scene a long time ago where one guy smashed another guy over the head with a bottle. The bottle didn't break, and he goes, "What was the most painful part of that fight?" And I go, "I don't know." He goes, "The fact that the bottle didn't break. That's how strong that bottle was. That's how much it hurt the guy who he smacked it with." And I was like, oh my gosh. And so that sort of stayed in my head because I was told that as like a 14-year-old. And so when I see like buildings not just falling over here, I think that's actually pretty cool. It gives more character to the fight. When he's jumping on the ships and whatnot, those ships are pretty damn strong and can sustain a lot of weight. Obviously it's transporting King Kong. I don't know how much force it would take to, you know, if an actual King Kong creature was jumping from one boat to the next, I don't know if it would just go under the water and sink, or if it would kind of buoy like that.
Well, yeah, because it's a
like,
boat, right?
But have you ever, like in a pool, have you ever jumped onto one of those noodle floater things or onto one of those pool beds? Like if you try jumping onto it, it doesn't just go under the water.
I mean, it does a little bit, but it pops back up.
No, you fall, your ass falls into the water and it pops right back up, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm just saying, like, who cares? It's fun.
Yeah,
It's like, it's fun. So,
I'm like, why are you talking about this?
no, but like, no, I'm saying I enjoyed any attention to, to detail with regards to physics that they paid in this film. I feel like they must have done some because it made the fight look more visceral, and there was more attention to detail with the physics in this movie than there were the characters,
Right.
like interesting human beings, outside of the little girl.
Yeah.
And
if you love her so much, you should learn her name.
I like her face, not her name. What's her name?
Isa Gonzalez.
Isa Gonzalez. I never bothered to remember her name. I'm sorry, Jesus. But I just remember seeing, spoiler alert, I remember seeing her die in the movie. I'm like, no, God, no, not her.
Not her.
Not in the face.
Not like this.
You don't know who this is?
No. Who's Riley Reid?
She is a porn star.
Oh, I figured she probably was, but I've never heard of her.
Yeah.
I'm not regularly watching those types of films.
No, but
so.
there's a handful of porn stars today that are just quite famous by name.
Right, like
and
like
she's
the
one
Jenna Jamesons of before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Riley Reid Reid. I didn't even know how to say her name correctly. She's definitely one of those people that's like, you just know who that is.
Oh, gotcha.
She's even been on podcasts with Logan Paul. Whoever the older brother is, he runs a podcast.
Okay.
And she was a guest on that podcast. Point is, she's famous.
Okay.
For good reason. So, I was trying to think of the girl that I pay attention to, but I can't remember her name for the life of me right now.
Lana Rhoades.
There you go. See, even ACHARA knows. She's pretty famous as well. It's the two of them, Lana Rhoades and Riley Reid. Those are the two famous ones right now.
Oh, okay.
They're the current Jenna Jamesons. Again, in fairness to the physics of the film, I feel like this film probably got it better. I outside of the going into the middle of the Earth business, that whole nonsense. Like,
Like
it's a
it's
cartoon. It's a cartoon at that point,
Well, it is, yeah. Like, no one's going there to really pay attention to the story. Like, some of the stuff they were bringing up about the whole Hollow Earth thing was already explored in the previous film. I was like, literally, I forgot. Honestly, I don't care.
I wonder how many people get these jokes at the end. Like the I get knocked down is the reference to Chumbawamba.
Yeah.
Reptile wins is the Mortal Kombat reference. Just make out already. I don't know what that's from. I wonder if it's a
film reference?
Friends reference. I don't know. On today's show, we're gonna reveal the horrible truth. But first, I'd like to tell you about Squarespace. Because Squarespace is everywhere.
I hated that character so much.
The podcast guy?
Yeah, he just annoyed me so much. I'm like, please, go away.
What was the Mechaleka?
I don't know what.
I thought that was a song reference. And this Chris Hemsworth of the Brothers Scars.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
No, because there's Chris and Liam.
Oh, gotcha.
They're brothers. Chris is, I guess, the more successful.
And the Preteen Titans.
Yeah, Teen Titans is a show.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Duh. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
I feel so stupid now. I didn't get the joke initially. Now I got it. Okay. Ha later. Okay. That was fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that with us. So subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell icon on notifications. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Screen Junkies for more of their honest trailers. I'm Jaby Koay. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.